one of the things I was excited to come here today to talk about was I think I finally found a convincing argument to get you to get a job and participate in the economy.
Oh boy.
Because, I tried convincing you to get a job for yourself so that, maybe you could get nicer things like the new video game consoles or, go see a movie every now and again. But you were like, no, no. And then I thought, well, maybe convincing you to get a job so that you'll be more appealing to a woman and, you could start going out on dates and afford to pay for dinners. But you're like, no, dating's too complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, maybe your dear old dad who takes care of you and still shelters you and, and stuff. I thought maybe convincing you to get a job so you could save up money and help him travel to visit his relatives. But you're like, no, that's not really something to get a job for. And then I thought, your dear old grandmother, the only grandparent that you've ever known, as you once said to me.
Yeah.
I thought, well, maybe you could get a job and start saving up so that when her funds start running low and she can't pay for assisted living at her home anymore, maybe you could help out with that. And, because you're not giving her great grandkids anytime soon. But you were like, no, when that time comes, she can sell her home and move into a retirement place. She doesn't need to have a sense of independence. But I think I finally know someone who you will get a job for.
Oh, I have a feeling. I think I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
God?
Yeah, okay, that's right. I had a feeling that's what you were setting up toward the end. I figured it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now here's what you're going to do. You're going to take a vow of poverty. And you're going to go get a job, and every paycheck you get, you're going to take it straight to the church. Maybe cash it out first and then take it straight to the church.
Oh, yeah, I guess it would have to somehow, because it's made out to me.
Now, previously, you've said that you want to enjoy the work you do. You don't want to be stuck as a miserable wage slave at Wendy's.
Sure, right.
That is just enlightenment nonsense, this notion that you should enjoy your work. I don't think it's enlightenment nonsense personally, because I don't think the Enlightenment is nonsense, but you think it's nonsense.
Right, I have a lot of problems with the Enlightenment, yeah.
Yeah, and this is one of those ideas that came out of the Enlightenment, the idea that people should enjoy their work. And you know what that grew into? That grew into communism, this idea that everyone should enjoy their work and be happy. But do you know what St. Augustine said about work, about labor?
What's that?
So biblically speaking, when Adam and Eve got kicked out of the garden, part of Adam's atonement was that he had to spend 900 years laboring in the fields.
Right.
And as I understand it, Augustine, wanted to bring us back to that ideal of seeing work as this is, our toil, our mortal sin.
Okay. That's kind of a purification process.
Yes.
Okay.
That we should expect to enjoy ourselves in this life.
Okay.
So you, on a scale of 1 to 10, is this convinced you at all to get a job?
5.
What if I told you? Now let's bring in St. Thomas Aquinas.
Oh, okay.
If I told you might be committing a mortal sin.
Oh, yeah, I guess I have, because I know St. Paul, it does say, he says, those who don't work shouldn't eat. So I know that there is that phraseology there.
Well, I was thinking of the sin of sloth.
Oh, right. Yes, you could include that in there too. Well, I guess I would say it's more complicated in the modern era than that. I mean, again, if we were all yeoman farmers with our own homestead, okay, if you're not going to work that and grow the food, okay, now you're slothful, okay, because it's right there. It's literally right there, But in the modern era, things are a little bit more complicated, especially in the postmodern or post-industrial era. In the industrial era, you had to go to the city, go work for the man, for let's say it's Andrew Carnegie at U.S. Steel. You have to go work for him, follow his orders and his manager's orders. You don't get any benefit other than the wage. Again, it's wage slave. Now, in the post-industrial society, which is what we're in now in America, it's more of service jobs, right? So you go work at Wendy's, and again, you don't get much else other than the wage, except now you're also dealing with people and serving people. So maybe I would encourage the modern frame of reference to be the Dorothy Day or Doris Day. I always get it mixed up. I was just talking about this, but I get it mixed up. But anyway, the Catholic worker movement, where I don't know exactly all of it, but she supports workers' rights and unions, but she doesn't support communism and socialism. But she understands that the way she frames it is communism is looking at the right thing, that there's an issue there. There is a exploitation there, but let's do it a different way where we don't abolish private property, etc., I guess. So maybe that's what we need to look at, is that work is very complicated now, and so we have to kind of figure out a way to...
But see, this is why I said that you should take a vow of poverty. So then it just simplifies it. So now all your work is for God.
But you're saying in a secular sense, I take a vow of poverty, not that I'm joining
No,
a
for
monastery.
your church.
Yeah.
You take a vow of poverty.
Okay.
I guess, well, so yes, you'd be, wait, no.
I mean, it would be as a layman.
Yes.
Yeah.
To collect money for the church. That would be your life, is just toiling at Wendy's, hating your work. But then remembering that you'll be rewarded in the next life, because your entire paycheck, aside from what the government eats, is going to the church.
I could do that. Yes, I could do that.
You could work your way up to assistant manager, and then all those assistant manager checks could go to God. Maybe even manager.
It would be a way to help. I suppose. And as you know, and part of it is I'm risk averse at this point and fearful, like if I get rejected again and then I have to report that I've been rejected, and then
what do you mean you have to report that you've been rejected?
Well, to like family members, right? And then it's a big, and then also the issue again of money changing. Do you have money changing skills? No. Answering those type of questions. But so no, what you're saying is good. I'm just trying to figure out how can I be an independent agent, where like either a community organizer or a nationalist, where I'm just like, like where I'm somehow self-employed, I guess would be nice. Or
well, you're not doing either of those things without being brave enough to have social media presence.
Oh, well, you don't have to. I mean, you could just
those things. You would have to have social media presence. There's no realistic path towards achieving in either of those fields without well. Actually, I don't really know that nationalism is a career, but...
Well, it would be like...
Specifically, being a community organizer, trying to make change. There's no route to doing that where you can do that without social media.
I can't just do it like... Well, and the problem is we don't have town hall meetings.
Yes.
Even at the park... Oh, oops. Well,
I'll just bleep it out.
Okay. They don't have town halls usually there. Even over there, apparently they don't.
Yeah, that's not really how change happens anymore.
Right. It has to be on the internet.
Yes. Here's the other kind of weird thing, too, talking to you. It seems like you're just so disinterested in living in right now.
Right.
You're just like, society's in a place... So I guess I just have to wait for it to revert. And at least you're agreeing with me on this.
Well, I guess it's true that I don't really know how to go forward or what the proper way to go forward would be. But now remind me, what would be a homemaker? What a homemaker, traditionally I think of a wife she doesn't have to work because the husband works and she just takes care of the home. But is there any larger definition of that, or is that basically what it is?
I mean, I suppose traditionally, sometimes some people do it the other way where...
It could be the man.
Yeah.
But is it always where it's kind of in a marriage context and the other spouse is working and so the other one takes care of the home? Is that what that is?
I suppose. Some people say that some people I've heard have argued that we should perhaps redefine family to also include the introvert, the person that decides to live on their own, but they still need, to be social with other people. They're just, they can call a home by their own.
Okay. So, but where would the employment part come in?
Oh, we're still talking about employment? I thought you were talking about being a homemaker.
Well, as employment, like that's my air quote job.
Oh, you're talking about the old 50s kind of homemaker is a job kind of thing.
Yeah, because
Well, yeah, you're not doing that by yourself.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's not how that works.
Yeah,
you have to have income from somebody else.
Yeah, so what I was referring to was that like someone who might want to live a more introverted lifestyle, they can be both the breadwinner of their own household, and they can make a home where they want to have company over sometimes. Which is the other thing too. I don't want to get too sidetracked, but we got to stop thinking of introverts as people that just entirely don't want to hang out. It's just someone who doesn't
Sure.
want to, live with someone else.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. Yeah.
Partly because I feel like maybe that is you.
Yeah, that is partly me, yes. Because I guess a lot of my happiness ideology or happiness concepts include just me watching films or cartoons. But I could, if I found someone that was really the same on that, then I could share with that person. But it would have to be someone that really wants to do that and not interested in that, unless we were compatible some other way. But anyway, no, you're asking about work though. So it's very frustrating. Like, I'll give you an example. I went on NBA Top Shot, which is that NFT thing recently. I just checked on it. And I think I've checked on it like a little while before that. And both times I wanted to buy some more the NFT cards. And they have these rules now where it's a lot harder to get them. Like the two that they had this last time I checked, you needed to either have like only 5 NBA Top Shots. So you have to have you have to be just starting. And the other one, I forget what the criteria was, but basically it didn't let me buy either one because I wasn't in the criteria. So it's all like really draconian now. So I couldn't even get more of those.
Oh yeah, this was your idea to make money selling NFT cards?
Yeah, to buy and sell NFTs. I have about $112 in my balance on that. Obviously that's not enough to live on, but it's something you can do. But it's frustrating when then they put these rules on there that you can't purchase more without these rules and regulations. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of stuff I try doesn't work.
So what exactly do you think? What kind of high standards do you think Wendy's has?
It's not that. I guess it's just like I don't know. It probably would drive me nuts. Well, would it? I don't know. I feel like it would drive me nuts, that kind of
that's
job.
that's why you should try it. If you do it and then you said it drove me nuts doing it, you'd have a much better case. Well, saying I don't want to go out and do it.
Well, but then I would feel locked in because once I've committed and I actually have a job after all these years, then I feel like, well, I don't want to quit because then people are going to say, well, why, you went all these time without a job and now you're quitting. So I feel like I would be locked in, until I get fired.
Can't I already make those accusations about your whole DoorDash thing?
Oh, explain.
That you had a job and then you just quit because you were too scared to ride a bike and you didn't want to invest in a car.
Well, the car thing is, can I go on a tangent about that?
Sure.
Cars, I hope that my car right now is burning in the fires of hell forever. I hope it will be punished for eternity for what it did. I hope it never fully turns into ash, that it's always forever burning and being punished.
So now he's converted to animism just to hate his car. And then once he stops hating his car, he'll be a Catholic again.
That's right. Only for that little section. Yeah. So what do you know that story, right? About okay.
I know you kept getting parking tickets because you kept forgetting to.
Oh, I did. Yes, with the street sweeping.
Yeah.
I did do that. Yes, multiple times. Probably 3 or 4 times or more. Yeah. So we had a Honda Civic. 1998. My grandma gave it to me. It was hers, and then she gifted it to me as my car. And then this was like in 2014, or let's say it was around that time, 2015. And my dad was driving it to work, and it's some part inside failed, like something that controls the idling speed, and so it actually shot up, started accelerating a lot by itself. So he was coming to a stop, it accelerated, rammed into a Silverado or Suburban. And of course their car had almost no damage except for like a little scratch on the bumper. And of course our car, the whole front was smashed in. And, those 2 guys came out of their Suburban and they're like, angry. There was a police officer that was nearby. He came over and he immediately said, you know what? And he looked at the dashboard of our car. I wasn't there at the time. And he was like, oh, look at that. It's in park and it's like accelerating. I'm not going to write him a ticket. No. And the guy was like, well, no, you need to write. No, I'm not going to write him a ticket. I can see that there's a problem with his car. But then what they did anyway is they put a claim against us. So then AAA came and they looked at our car and they said they would call us with what the result was, right? So then I'm walking back from college and I have a voicemail. So I listen to the voicemail and this is the message, right? Hi. So we did look at your claim and we also looked at the claim of the other two people. And unfortunately, you don't have collision coverage. So therefore you're going to get $0. However, they are going to get paid their claim. Okay. Have a good night. Bye. And so I was so angry. I was murderously enraged. Not really, but still, I was like, AAA. I had one of those moments where I was like, may the fires of hell destroy AAA insurance forever. So anyway, so we got nothing. And I think the estimate to fix the car was like $5,000 or something. So we had to trash it. We had to give it to Salvation Army. And from then on, I've never had a car of my own and probably never will. And so now I hate cars.
Wow, you've already given up on the idea of ever owning a car again.
Oh, I don't think it's going to. And listeners, I mean, it costs like $30,000 or more to buy a car now, and then the insurance is insane. And
that's why people tend to have jobs, and they tend to pay off the loans on those cars.
You know what? Car loans, it's a racket. They just saddle you with that debt, right? They just put those shackles of debt on you. Debt is one of the bad things, right? Debt is bad. Debt is slavery too. There's wage slavery, but then there's debt slavery.
Are you sure you're not a communist? I feel like if communism embraced Catholicism, you'd be a full-on communist. You can check out full episodes of Kinky Caption Convos by clicking on the link in the description below or by searching for Kinky Caption Convos through most major podcast distributing apps such as iTunes, Google, Audible, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. Thank you for listening to this Kinky Caption Convo clip.